Ukrainian forces have made gains on two sectors of the front line, according to the Institute for the Study of War, which has mapped the latest advances against Russian troops. The Ukrainian General Staff has said that Ukrainian forces are continuing offensive actions near Bakhmut in the Donetsk Oblast and offensive operations in the Melitopol direction in western Zaporizhia Oblast. The ISW said on Monday that Ukraine's troops had advanced near Bakhmut with geolocated footage showing advances around Kurdyumivka, a settlement that lies about 6 miles southwest of the fiercely fought-over town. Recapturing Bakhmut, seized by Russia in May, is one of the goals of Ukraine's counteroffensive launched in June, whose aim of recapturing Russian-occupied territory has progressed only incrementally. Ukraine's General Oleksandr Syrsky, commander of the Ukrainian ground forces operations in the east, reported on Monday that Moscow had strengthened its forces in the Bakhmut sector, switching from defense to active actions. Syrsky said that the situation on this eastern front is challenging, with Russia escalating its activities in the Kupiansk sector, from where its forces are launching attacks from multiple directions. Meanwhile, geolocated footage from Sunday showed marginal Ukrainian gains west of the town of Robotyne in the western Zaporizhzhia region. According to the ISW, which displayed the situation in one map, the Ukrainian General Staff said on Monday that its troops were inflicting losses on Russian forces south of Bakhmut, while Russian sources said that Ukraine had tried to unsuccessfully advance beyond the railway line between Klishchivka and Andriivka, southwest of Bakhmut. Another ISW map showed the Ukrainian advances in this area in the southern sector of the front, with the graphic highlighting Kyiv's progress east of the railway line near the town of Kurdyumivka and east of Andriivka. This comes amid reports that Russia had changed its leadership in the occupied Kherson Oblast, where Colonel General Mikhail Teplinsky, the deputy commander of Russian forces in Ukraine, had replaced Colonel General Oleg Makarevich. Russian military bloggers said that Makarevich was removed from his post for providing false reports to his superiors about the situation on the ground. British defense officials said on Tuesday that Teplinsky is likely held in high regard by the Russian military, having successfully withdrawn troops from the west of the Dnieper River in November 2022 during their retreat from Kherson. Repelling Ukrainian attacks across the river and holding territory in occupied Kherson Oblast remains a high-priority objective for Russian forces in Ukraine, the UK Ministry of Defense said in its daily update, and Teplinsky's appointment is likely an indication of increased pressure on Russian forces defending the area. Another video of massacring of Russians on a failed offensive attempt in Avdiivka, which they loose 4 BTR-82 and already destroyed 1 tank and 2 BMP near same place. A U.S. think tank suggests Russia plans to use so-called Storm Z military squads that include prisoners to capture the eastern Ukrainian city of Avdiivka, despite expecting heavy casualties. Avdiivka is a stronghold in the Donetsk region for Ukrainian forces. Russian troops reportedly have already suffered severe losses in battles around the city. The Institute for the Study of War said on Monday, Russian forces continue to use Storm Z assault units predominantly made up of prisoner recruits in highly attritional infantry-led frontal assaults. The think tank quoted a Ukrainian forces spokesperson as saying Russia is preparing to conduct meat assaults near Avdiivka and are training Storm Z units. It reported, however, those units have been introduced into battle with poor training and often sustained heavy losses. The British Defense Ministry said last week it is likely Russia originally envisioned Storm Z units as relatively elite organizations, but that since at least spring 2023, the units have effectively become penal battalions, manned with convicts and regular troops on disciplinary charges. The Ukrainian military claimed on Tuesday that Russia has lost more than 300,000 Russian military members since it launched the invasion in February last year. The British Defense Ministry puts the number of Russian personnel who have been killed or permanently wounded in the invasion at 150,000 to From Shoigu's side, the call to negotiate sounded for the first time in the many months of war. Shoigu doesn't just speak about readiness to negotiate with Ukraine, but also about figuring out relations with the West. He says there is a need to build a new security infrastructure. He made this statement in Beijing. Intensive preparations for the visit of Chinese leader to the United States are currently underway there. Xi Jinping will meet President Biden in San Francisco. Issues of global security will be discussed there. So Shoigu's statement was probably made with regards to China, among other things. It was also probably made with regards to Russia, currently not having enough resources to continue intensive assault combat and needing time to rest and restore forces.
Россия открыта для обсуждения и решения любых вопросов в области безопасности, если этот диалог будет честным, равноправным и основанным на взаимном уважении договаривающихся сторон. Однако без пересмотра Западом своей деструктивной линии, которая предусматривает нанесение России стратегического поражения, плодотворные переговоры в этой сфере вряд ли возможны. Вместе с тем, на случай создания необходимых условий сохраняем готовность к политическим дискуссиям на реалистичных началах.
And the same call came from another Putin's puppet. Lukashenko calls for an immediate halt to hostilities in Ukraine and negotiations on land and peace.
Умных людей немало в Украине. Надо садиться за стол переговоров и договариваться. Как я когда-то говорил, как договариваться? Не надо предварительные условия. Главное, команду дали, стоп. Вот с 0 часов, стоп, ночью. Никакие войска не двигаются, никто не стреляет, резервы никто не подбрасывает, коммуникации не восстанавливают. Остановились и ведем переговоры. Переговоры о чем? О земле и о мире.
And the Oscar goes to
окровавленных детей, на погибших детей, на то, как страдают женщины, старики, как погибают медики. Конечно, и кулаки сжимаются, и слезы наворачиваются на глазах. По-другому не скажешь.
more footage from yesterday's meeting with Putin. Look at the faces of his subordinates, especially Lavrov.
Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you wanna support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.